Hello students. So in the last class we have discussed about the main postulates of Bohr's atomic model. So at that time I have told you that Bohr's atomic model is helping us to study about the atomic spectra of hydrogen atom. Right? That's a word that I've used over here. Bohr's atomic model is helping us to study more about the atomic spectra of the hydrogen atom. So what is this atomic spectra? So in this class we are studying more about what is this atomic spectra or how does an atomic spectra is forming. All these things we will discuss in this class. Okay. So what is this atomic spectra? You know that the speed of the light will have different speeds when it is entering into the different mediums, right? So depending upon the medium, the speed of the light can be changed. That means when it enters from one medium to another, its speed can be changed. So we can see easily that by using a white light. We know that the speed of the light will be different when it is passing from one medium to another. That means the speed of the light depends upon in whatever the medium that it is passing, right? So when it passes from one medium to another, so when it enters from one medium to another medium, what will happen over there means this ray will get deviated or refracted. So there is a slight bending will take place over there. So what will happen? The speed of the light will get altered also. Okay. So when it passes from one medium to another, it will get deviated or refracted. So as what will happen is speed also will get changed. So we can easily identify it when we are using a white light. When a ray of white light, when we are passing through a prism. Suppose we are passing a white light. A ray of white light is passing through a prism. So when the white light, when it is enters to the prism, what will happen means when it is entered into the prism which is of a different medium, what will happen over there means that light will get deviated. So that deviation will depend, the extent of deviation will depend upon the wavelength of the ray also. So the shorter wavelength, the rays which is of the shorter wavelength will bend more, and the the ray or the whatever that is, which is having a higher wavelength. The ray which is having the higher wavelength will be bending much more, lesser manner. So the ray with the higher wavelength will be bending slightly less, but the ray with the shorter wavelength will be bending more. So a particular ordinary white light, it contains waves of all the wavelength in it. So when a white light, when it is passed through a prism, what will happen means it will result in the formation of a different color bands in it. So we know that when a white light is passed through the prism, it will produce different color bands, that we call it as a VIBGYOR, right? It can produce a VIBGYOR colors in it, just like how it is producing in the rainbow and all. The same thing is happening. Rainbow colors will be now forming when a white light has passed through a prism also. So the violet color. So violet color which is having the shorter wavelength will be bending more. The deviation will be more for the violet color. But the red color which is having a higher wavelength will be deviating less also. So we'll get a series of color bands from here. Violet color will be it is merging into indigo, like that, continuous color bands we will see from them, right? That continuous color bands that we are seeing over there, we call them as the spectrum, or we call them as a continuous spectrum. Continuous spectrum. So there is a different colors which is merging from one color to the another. We call them as a continuous spectrum, just like that how we are seeing in our rainbow colors and all. Okay, the same thing will happen for the atoms, molecules, or the ions. So here what will happen means, so when an atom, molecule, or an ion is absorbed, if it happens to absorb some sort of energy, anyway, some radiation is passed through an atom or a molecule, or sometimes it is getting heated. So any form of energy, if we are subjecting into an atom or a molecule, what will happen over there means these electrons present in the atoms or the molecules will absorb the energy, right? So these electrons, as I told in the last class, these electrons will be rotating around a particular pathway which is having a particular energy. So when this electron is absorbing the energy, what happen? That is having a higher energy. So here what will happen means electrons will get transited, or it will get undergo transition from a lower energy level to a higher energy level. Okay, that also we have discussed in the last class, right? So when an atom or a molecule, when it's absorbing the energy, the electron will absorb the energy and it will undergo transition from a lower energy level to a higher energy level. And we know that higher energy level means it is not at all stable. So what this atom will do? It will emit out the radiations and will come back to the lower energy level. Okay, so that transition will take place. That's the most important one. So electron will absorb the energy, right? If it is subjected for radiation, it will absorb the rays of particular wavelength only. Each electron will have a capacity. Each electron present in an element has a capacity to absorb a particular wavelength of the rays only. Then what will it do? It will jump from a lower energy level to the higher energy level. There it is not at all stable. What it will do? It will emit out the radiations. It will emit out the energy in the form of radiation and will come back to the lower energy level. Okay, so when it is absorbing the energy, again I told you this, if it is absorbing the radiation, it is absorbing the radiation of particular wavelength only, right? When it is coming back to the lower energy level, it is emitting certain radiations, that too of particular wavelength only. So depending upon that, we have two types of spectra. So the energy, if it is absorbing, we call them as the absorption spectrum, and if it is when it is coming back to the lower energy, it is emitting the radiation of particular wavelength. If you are happening to understand that we call it as the emission spectrum. So absorption spectrum and emission spectrum is the absorption spectrum means it is corresponding to the rays which is of a particular wavelength that is absorbed by the electron, and the emission spectrum is the rays which is corresponding to the wavelength that is emitted by an electron. Okay, so we depending upon the absorption and the emission, we have absorption spectrum and the emission spectrum. But just like a continuous spectrum as I told you, one color is merging to another and another color which is merging to another. It's a continuous sort of it. But these spectra, which we call it as atomic spectra which is produced by an atom, we call it as the atomic spectra. So if it is an atomic spectra, we won't get the continuous of the color bands. We won't get the continuous color bands. What is the reason for that? Because the atoms are absorbing only a particular wavelength of the rays, and it is emitting only a particular wavelength of the rays also. Okay, so depending upon, there's a particular wavelength that the atom can absorb and atom can give out also. So depending upon that, we have a emission spectra and the absorption spectra. So absorption spectra is corresponding to the wavelength of the rays that is absorbed. So there will be a lot of, when we are looking at the absorption spectra, it won't be a continuous one. There will be a lot of dark spaces over there. We will see the bands, the lines only, which is having separated by certain dark spaces. When you look at the atomic spectra, you can see a lot of dark spaces are there. What is that? What is the dark spaces? This dark spaces is because of the radiation which is absorbed by the atom. The radiation which is absorbed by the atom will be appearing as a dark one, and the radiation which is emitted by an atom will be appearing as a colorful one that we can see as a lines. We can see a lot of discrete lines over there. So we call them as the line spectrum. It is not a continuous one. We call the atomic spectra as the line spectrum. What is the reason for that is line spectrum? Because certain radiations we are absorbing, certain radiations we are the atom is giving out also. So depending upon that, whichever the radiations of whichever that wavelength it is absorbing, it will appear as a very dark lines, dark spaces over there. Okay, so this is what an atomic spectra is. So this is what an atomic spectra is. The spectra produced by an atom, we call it as a atomic spectra. So if it is a visible light or something, we will get a continuous spectrum. Different colors are, we can see through it. But if it is an atomic spectra, we will get a line by line. There will be a lot of dark spaces over there. So line spectra is the which is produced by the atoms or the molecules. Okay. So atomic spectra, this emission spectra and the absorption spectra, we study about all these things. We are calling it as that branch. We are calling it as the spectroscopy. So spectroscopy is a very powerful technique that we are using today. Just like the fingerprintings and all, no? Fingerprints, we know that we are using fingerprint technology to identify, each person will have his or her own unique fingerprints, like just like that each atom will have its own unique atomic spectra. So we can analyze the atomic spectra of various elements and identify which element it is or which atom it is. Okay, so spectroscopy is a very powerful technique that we are using to identify the atoms, molecules, or the compounds, or it can even use to separate the mixture of several compounds like this. Several. It is helping for us to identify new elements also. Okay, so study about spectroscopy is a very powerful one. It's a very leading, branch of chemistry that is working, progressing nowadays. Now we can study about the atomic spectra of hydrogen, and we can know some using the graphical representation. We can study more about the atomic spectra also. Okay, let us watch in today's video.
So let us study what a spectrum is, or how does a spectrum is produced also. So we can learn about the atomic spectra also. When the light from the sun or from an incandescent lamp is subjected to fall on a prism, it will produce an array of 7 colors, namely the 7 colors of the Vibgyor. This is what we call as the spectrum. So when we look closer to the bending or the refraction of the light, we can see that the light which is having lower wavelength bends more than that of the waves with the higher wavelength. So that is why when we look at the spectrum of the visible light, we can see that the violet with the lower wavelength bends more, and we can see it at the 400 nanometer, while the red which is having the higher wavelength will be no less bended, and it will be seen at the 700 nanometer. The most common example for the spectrum that we see is the rainbow itself. Rainbow which is producing the 7 colors of the Vibgyor. These color bands which is produced, one color will merge into the another color. So we call such spectrum as the continuous spectrum, as one color merges into the another color. And electromagnetic radiation can also behave like the same way. It has an array of different wavelength, and we call them as the electromagnetic spectrum. When such an electromagnetic radiation interacts with the matter, atoms or molecules which is present in this matter will absorb the electromagnetic radiation in the form of energy, and because of this energy the electrons which is present in the atoms will get excited to the next orbital or next energy level which is having more energy. That is, when an electron absorbs the energy, it will undergo transition to the excited state which is of the higher energy. But the excited state which is not at all stable So what do these electrons will do is, it will emit out the radiations and will come back to the ground state, that is of the initial state. This coming back of electrons by emitting out the radiation can takes place in a single step or in a multiple of steps. The radiations which is emitted when it is going back to the ground state is of a particular wavelength, and this spectrum which is obtained by the emission of radiation, we call them as the emission spectrum. But unlike the spectrum which is produced by the white light, which is a continuous spectrum, this spectrum contains lot of dark spaces in between them. So it is not a continuous one, it is discontinuous with lot of dark spaces in between them. Such spectrum is known as the line spectrum because it is having lot of lines in the spectrum with the dark spaces in between. The reason why there is lot of dark spaces in between for an emission spectrum is that unlike the white light spectrum, this emission spectrum will have only the rays which is of a particular wavelength only. The photographic negative of the emission spectrum will give us the absorption spectrum. We can obtain the absorption spectrum by passing a white light through a sample and which is subjected to pass through a prism, and we will get if it is subjected to a photographic plate, we will get lot of lines, lot of bright lights with lot of dark spaces in between. So these dark spaces correspond to the light which is absorbed by the matter. So the absorption spectrum and emission spectrum are counter to each other. The study of absorption spectrum and emission spectrum to determine the molecular structure is referred to as the spectroscopy. This emission spectrum is also known as the atomic spectrum because each atom has its own unique spectrum, just like each person has his own unique fingerprint. Just like that, each element has its own emission spectrum. So we call them as the atomic spectrum. So this emission spectrum we can use to identify the unknown elements. The German scientist Robert Bunsen is the first scientist who used the atomic spectrum to identify the unknown elements. The elements like rubidium, cesium, thallium, indium, gallium and scandium were discovered using the atomic spectra. Even the presence of helium in the sun is detected by the use of spectroscopy. So, we have studied about the atomic spectra, what is meant by a spectra, what is an atomic spectra, what is a continuous spectra, emission spectra, and also about the absorption spectra and how it is produced also. I hope that it is clear for you now. So now we will study more about the Bohr's atomic model in the next video. Thank you.